Electronic music, social media, and sexual assault allegations took center stage recently in an Edmonton courtroom. An Alberta judge ruling a Montreal musician is now owed $1.5 million to be paid by a California woman he'd never met. Our Nicole Lampa is in studio with this story. Nicole, if the two people involved don't live in our city, why was this defamation case heard here in Edmonton?
Well, Jeff, it's because social media posts and comments by the California woman caused harm to the musician's reputation in Alberta and ultimately led to the cancellation of 2 of his shows here. Known as Snails in the electronic music world, says a stranger on social media ripped his life apart.
It
destroyed a big part of my career, of my personal life, says Durand. It impacted my mental health. It affected a lot of things, my family, my girlfriend. There wasn't a single area that it didn't affect. An Instagram account called Evidence Against Snails surfaced in 2020, reposting sexual allegations against the Montreal-based producer.
He became the target of a social media frenzy. He was accused of sexual impropriety. An individual took some relatively unrelated posts on social media, aggregated them, stuck them all together on an Instagram account, and then used that Instagram account as a tool to try and cancel his career.
A woman in California was behind the account, a woman Durand never met. At the height of his career, right before the pandemic, he booked more than 100 shows a year, making close to $3 million in 2018. The Instagram account changed all of that, targeting shows he had booked in Edmonton and Calgary. In 2021, the person behind Evidence Against Snails posted an image of a comment saying, "Why are we paying creepy rapists to come perform?"
Fred had 2 performances that were scheduled to take place in Alberta in 2021. And they were canceled as a result of the activities of the defendant. So Alberta became one natural place to bring this lawsuit.
According to court documents, an Edmonton judge agreed to hear the defamation case against defendant Michaela Higgins, which included 9 reposts by Higgins alleging sexual misconduct by Durand. One of them was about a woman who was supposedly raped by Durand in Philadelphia. That woman says the story is false.
I was fairly unconscious girl that was left pantless. Couldn't be further from the truth. And that's what people on the internet wanted to believe. Actually, he was a gentleman. None of that happened.
The Edmonton judge sided with Durand. His judgment reading, he has established that many of the allegations against him, including the more serious ones, are likely false or, at a minimum, unreliable. The judge also wrote how the Me Too movement was long overdue, adding there must be a legally safe space for it, saying Ms. Higgins blew recklessly past the boundaries of that space by unqualifiedly and unrestrainedly publishing statements painting Mr. Durand as a serial sexual abuser, and that this case highlight the risks of blithely reposting often anonymous and deeply defamatory material from the lawless, fact-averse wildlands of social media. Legal experts believe the ruling is precedent-setting.
It's really a very brilliantly worded decision, and I think will be used by others in similar situations.
I wanted to stand up for the victims.
After the ruling, Higgins posted another video about the decision,
which luckily does not affect me because it's in a different country.
Higgins says she had a reason for starting the Instagram account, which she admits she also did against another musician.
So because it was basically just part of that whole movement where I felt like, well, this guy, Snails, is already really well known for having multiple allegations. And because there are now all these pages collecting the allegations when there are serial allegations against DJs, it made sense that there should be one for him.
Higgins says she will fight paying the $1.5 million now ordered in the defamation lawsuit.
To me, it's still worth it to fight it all the way through and then declare bankruptcy if that's what it comes to.
For now, Durand continues to make music and is open to rebooking those 2 canceled shows in Alberta. I hope so, he says. Music is my passion. It puts me on cloud 9 in Alberta or anywhere else in the world. Durant says for him, it's not about the money. It was more about getting to the truth. And he agrees with the judge that the Me Too movement is a good thing, especially when survivors come forward in a safe and legal space.